Students and lecturers are preparing to hold a march in London today to protest against funding cuts in higher education. Students in England also face a big rise in fees.
Yes, universities will be able to charge up to £9,000 a year for tuition from 2012. Ministers say the higher charges are needed. Critics, though, say it could put some people off applying for university.
Well, with us now, Hannah Williams, who's a student at the London School of Economics, and Cathy Taylor, a lecturer in trade union studies at Newcastle College. Good morning.
Hello.
You're both going on the protest today?
We are, yes.
OK. As a lecturer, why have you decided to join?
Well, because I can see that these cuts both to further education and higher education, are going to damage the education, the life chances of a future generation of students, going to saddle them with thousands of pounds worth of debt. For a service and a right. Education should be a right for everyone to have, to aspire to get the education they want and they aspire to, and not have to be saddled with loads and loads and loads of costs.
Hannah, you're already a student at the LSE,
right.
so the changes when they come in 2012 won't affect you. Why are you going on the march?
Well, I think that's right. I think that all the students and the lecturers that are going to be participating in the march today, it's not going to directly affect them. What I think is fantastic and shows how broadly and how deeply people feel about this is that people in 5-10 years' time that are going to be coming to university, they're going to be feeling the cuts, and that people feel that this is such a massive issue that they're willing to take the time and the effort and the energy now to try and make it better for the people that are coming in 5-10 years' time.
Cathy, how would you deal with the financial situation that universities and colleges are facing? You know, money's very tight, there are cuts across the board. How else do you deal with the deficit?
Well, I think what we're facing is, isn't we, we're facing the government who are putting the story around that the only way to deal with deficiencies and cuts is for individuals to bear them, for our students to bear the cost, and that's just not fair. It is not fair.
So who else is going to bear it then?
Well, there are other, basically we should pay for our education through taxation. That's for all our public services, and what the government are doing are basically reneging on their responsibilities, on the state's responsibility to fund public services properly, and that includes education.
Hannah, the argument that government ministers have made on this programme is that they can't take the money anymore from taxation because there simply isn't enough in the reserves to do so, and that paying for the tuition fees and the increase in tuition fees will be seen not as a debt but as an investment, because students won't need to pay it back until they're in what they say is quite a good job.
I think there are two things to pick up on from what you just said. I think the first one is that the government is saying that there's no other way to fund university education anymore. I think that if we look at the fact that the budget for the NHS has been ring-fenced, and actually call into question why that's been ring-fenced when there have been sufficient evidence that proves that there are inefficiencies and there are ways to make amends to the NHS without increasing the budget, we then think about, okay, well why then is the education budget not being given the same kind of priority and ring-fencing? The other thing is what you said about the idea that people are going to be able to make sufficient increases in the income they're going to have for the rest of their lives because of their education. And I think that actually what we've seen over the past 10-15 years is we've seen an increase in the criteria that employers have put on what they want from the people to do jobs. So, for example, 10-15 years ago, you might not have needed to do a degree to do some of the jobs that you now do need a degree to do. So the actual value of your degree has diminished. It's not as easy to differentiate yourself in the job market because you have a degree.
But people will say, that, if I may, people will say, there are a lot of people doing degrees that actually really aren't worth anything in the jobs market these days, so perhaps not so many people should go to university anyway.
Well, I think that gets away from the fact that each individual has the right to aspire and to follow the course that is for them. Not all degrees are linked with jobs. That's an idea that the government has, that all of our education, all of our training should be linked to the market, should be at the demand of employers and what they need. Actually, a lot of people who do degrees, even if, as you say, on the face of it, they may not be linked to a job in the future, actually do prepare them for the job market. It's been statistically proved that in the economy, people with degrees add to our economy. They benefit the economy. So it's not an investment on the part of the individual so much as an investment by society in that individual. It's not just an individual thing. It's going to benefit all of us and the common good, if you like.
Hannah, what do you think this sort of march will achieve? Do you think it'll change things?
I think that what this march is going to do is demonstrate the breadth of support that this campaign to kind of, lobby the government against the cut in education fees has, and also how deeply people feel it. People are coming from Scotland, people are coming from all around the country, people are busy, people are taking time off work, there is a real commitment to this. So I think it demonstrates to the government how keenly and how many people feel about this, and then they can take that on board and look at the decisions that they need to make.
Okay. Thank you both.
Thank you
very much.
both. Thank you.